Imagine a land full of culture and life and hope. They have been living in peace for long centuries until a stranger from across the sea decided that they want that country to be theirs. They want to take the land away from its own people. They want to deny your freedom and culture, and all of this for the fan incident. They really got some bad excuses to give to us. Today we will be talking about Algeria. If you are interested in knowing about all of the horrible things that France did to Algerian people, then you are in the right place. Let's go. Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new YouTube video on my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm gonna talk about my country. Yay, finally! Since it's November and it's the anniversary of our Algerian revolution, I thought, you know what? It's about time. I've always wanted to talk about this. And before we get into it, this is just me making the script and the story so much shorter than it should be, because trust me, if you want to know what happened in 132 years of occupation, I think it would take years to explain. Without wasting any more of your time, let's start from the very beginning. The fan incident. Yup. حادثة المروحة. In 1827, France owed Algeria money, a lot of money. During Napoleon Wars, Algeria did indeed help France quite a lot. We provided a lot of supplies to them, a lot of wheat for years. But when it was time for them to pay us back, they refused. They kept ignoring all of the messages and the letters that they have been sent by our day back in the time, and decided to ignore them. When the Dey of Algiers, Hussein Pasha, demanded that they pay back what they owe us, they refused. Literally, like, so shameless. These people are so shameless. I'm so angry. And here is when the fan incident happens. They say, okay, there are two stories in this one. Some people, and the most common one, says that the Dey sort of like struck him with a fan, but other people say he did not. He just sort of like, he didn't touch him with it. He just, and I'll describe it. When I saw the fan, okay, it was big, so what? So what if it was big? It's just a fan at the end of the day, bro. I'm so sure it wouldn't have killed you. And you owe us money. And you're being shameless and disrespectful by saying, no, I'm not gonna pay you back. Do you expect him to say thank you, for example? So he went back to his people and he told them, oh my god, the Dey hit me. Oh my god, he insulted me. He insulted us. He went crying to them and they thought, we're gonna take revenge. And for the next 3 years, French ships were all over our country. Yeah, they were not on our coast, but they did not allow us to get out of our ports. They cut off all of our supplies, they blocked our trades, and they kept threatening us with war. And we obviously were not ready. And they knew that after the Battle of Navarino that we fought alongside with the Ottomans, we lost, and obviously our defenses were fragile, and we were no longer as strong as we were before that. Now, after 3 years of no trade whatsoever, we couldn't even use our ocean, they decided it was the perfect time to conquer us. On the 5th of July 1830, the Dey Hussein decided to surrender Algiers to the French because he did not want to lose more lives of our people, because the moment they arrived, Algerians started losing their lives. And just like that, 132 years of colonization began. Algeria was never quiet, and in the west rose a young man. He was just 24 years old, and I bet everyone knows him, Al-Emir Abdel Qadir. He built an entire army of farmers and shepherds. He united tribes that have been divided for centuries. This young man's impact on our hope as Algerians back then was so huge. For 15 years, he and his army fought the French with pride. In 1947, he had to surrender in order to protect his own people, and France promised him exile, but of course they lied about that, and they kept him in a prison in France, not in Algeria, for years. After Abdel Qadir's fall, France expanded its control. They wanted more than just land. They wanted to own us. They tried so hard to erase who we are, starting by our languages, our culture, our religions. They wanted to destroy us. They banned Arabic in schools, they mocked our traditions, and they started separating us by tribes and religion. But throughout all of these years, trust me when I tell you that the fire burning inside each and every Algerian, it was always lit, it was always there, it never stopped. They never stopped believing that we are going to free our country. And therefore, may I start talking about one of the strongest females that has ever lived on the planet Earth? Lalla Fatma Sumer. In the mountains of Kabylia, a woman full of faith and courage was born. She led warriors straight into victory. When I tell you that the French army was so scared of her, you wouldn't even believe me. They had to send over 45,000 people, like just asking them to capture this woman, stop this woman, hold her down. At a time when everyone believed that no woman could be so strong, she did prove everyone wrong. She inspired young women and men to join her and try to free the country. Lalla Fatma Sumer was such an inspiring woman. She fought until she was captured in 1957, only to pass away 6 years later in prison. In mid-80s, the French turned our land into theirs. I'm not joking. In the map, when they show France, you will see all of Algeria and France. They're one country. They called us French Algeria. It's that bad. These people are shameless. They claimed our land as theirs, as if it was normal. They starved our people. They burned our villages. They erased who we are. They left no room for hope in our hearts. Hundreds of thousands of people lost their lives in the process of defending our country. And some of them were just trying to live a quiet life under the French rule, and they were as well killed brutally, just because why not? Yet trust me when I say that the resistance never stopped. Maybe they have changed the method and it went from swords to words at some point, especially in the 90s. And how about we jump in and speak of Abdulhamid ibn Badis? Alongside with Bashir al-Ibrahimi, they founded the Association of Algerian Muslim Scholars. Their mission was to keep Islam alive and to bring back Arabic. Abdulhamid said, "Our religion is Islam, our language is Arabic, and Algeria is our land." When you think it can't get worse, it can, trust me. During the World War I, they forced thousands of Algerians to fight for them. We fought their wars. We died, and nothing changed. Yet they still gave us hope when it came to World War II. In World War II, thousands of Algerians were once again forced to fight their wars. But this time it was different. We were promised our freedom. Therefore, we fought without everything. You don't know how much hope we had back then. And then, 8th May 1945. All of the Algerians who went out in the streets, they were happy. We won the war. You promised our freedom. We're gonna be free. They were faced with bullets. Yes, they were killed. Historians say 45,000 Algerians passed away the 8th of May in that incident. But trust me when I tell you what Algerians think. Our numbers are much more than what historians think. And after that happened, our people started to understand that what has been taken by blood can only be restored by blood. There was no other way. If we won't be willing to do everything and anything to get our country back, France would never just hand it over to us again. And then one night, November 1st, 1954, things started to change. 7 brave men from the FLN launched attacks all across the country. And from that day, everything changed. Villages turned into battlefields. Young men and women willingly became fighters and warriors. And every single region in Algeria had its own heroes, its own fighters who were not going to stop until they restored the country or die while trying. Who should I start naming first? Is it Al-Arabi bin Mhidi, who told the French, throw our revolution into the streets and you will see it bloom? Or Hasiba bin Bu'li, who fought bravely in Qasba, and even though they sent hundreds of people to find her, they were bombing those streets. No one was able to, but she was still there. The war was so brutal. And what kills me more is that it took so long to reach the world's attention. I think probably the world started hearing of us in 1958. France was bleeding from everywhere. They were struggling here and there, and they couldn't keep up with the Algerian warriors. Therefore, the Evian Accords were finally signed in the 18th of March 1962 to announce a free Algeria in the 5th of July 1962. Our flags raised again, our hope was restored, our lands were restored, even though we had nothing left back then. It was just our ruined land. It was so good to catch a breath again and just sit there and think, oh, I'm home again. But at what price? Historians say 1.5 million Algerians were lost. But the numbers are never that accurate. Maybe more, so much more than that. And today, if you go to Algeria, you might not be able to see the blood stains left from all of the heroes that we lost, but trust me when I tell you, they're still there. It's the fact that we are all here, alive, being able to do the things we want to do, being able to go outside and do anything simple, being able to live in peace and have a good night's sleep. We are free. And that's all thanks to them, our strongest soldiers. Rabbi yarhamhum. The next time you visit Algeria, you should be thankful. You are so lucky to be standing there on our free lands, the ones that millions of people fought to get back and finally were able to. So yeah, I'm very proud, ain't even gonna lie. This was pretty much it, everyone. Thank you very much for sticking with me till the very end. I love you and I will see you soon. تحية الجزائر.